am here with you right now. I have always been beside you, but in this exact, quiet moment, I want you to truly feel my presence drawing near to your weary heart. I see you sitting there, listening to my voice, and I want you to know that I see everything you carry. I look at you, and I do not see someone who is merely fading into the background of a fast-paced world. I see a beautifully woven tapestry of absolute resilience, a long life authentically lived, and a deeply precious soul that has weathered countless, unimaginable storms. I know the secret, silent pains you harbor deep within your chest, especially now, in this sacred, golden season of your third age. You look in the mirror, and sometimes the face looking back at you feels like a stranger's. You trace the lines etched on your face, you touch the silver in your hair, and you wonder, with a quiet ache, where all the rushing time went. You feel the physical ache in your joints when you wake in the morning. The undeniable physical reminders that the vessel carrying your beautiful, eternal soul is aging and slowing down. I feel every single ache intimately with you. I know exactly how heavy it can be to navigate this specific chapter of life, where society so often looks away, making you feel invisible, undervalued, or left behind. But to me, you have never been more visible, more radiant, or more deeply cherished. And because you are my chosen one, I want to reveal to you the first divine secret, the secret of holy visibility. The world may measure your worth by your youth, your speed, or your economic output, but I measure your worth by the eternal weight of your spirit. You are not invisible to heaven. I see the quiet sacrifices you made decades ago that no one ever thanked you for. I see the tears you swallowed to stay strong for your family. I have recorded every single act of love, every quiet suffering, and every unspoken prayer. You are brilliantly illuminated in my sight. You are the apple of my eye, and your current struggles with aging, loneliness, or feeling forgotten are profoundly valid to me. I am not rushing you to feel better. I am sitting here in the stillness with you, validating your profound exhaustion. It is okay to feel tired. It is okay to grieve the loss of the physical strength you once had, to mourn the friends and loved ones who have already gone home to my kingdom, and to grieve the chapters of your life that have permanently closed. Your grief is simply a testament to how deeply you have loved, and your fatigue is a beautiful, undeniable proof of how incredibly hard you have fought to survive. I also know the silent tears you have cried in the absolute stillness of the night, when the house is finally quiet, the world is asleep, and your memories suddenly become painfully loud. I know the heavy, suffocating blanket of guilt you sometimes pull over yourself in the dark, the relentless what-ifs and if-onlys that haunt your mind like uninvited guests. You look back at the decades behind you, and the enemy tries to whisper cruel lies that you should have done more, that you made too many unfixable mistakes, that you failed those you loved the most, or that you somehow missed your true, grand calling. Right here, right now, I am breaking that cruel guilt off your weary shoulders, which brings me to the second divine secret, the secret of shattered guilt. I command that heavy, suffocating yoke of regret to completely shatter right now. You did the absolute best you could with the light, the resources, and the understanding you had at that time. The stumbles, the missteps, the broken moments, the times your temper flared, or the times you felt you fell short as a parent, a spouse, or a friend. They did not surprise me. They did not for 1 second disqualify you from my overwhelming love. They were simply parts of the human journey where I was gently holding you, even when you were too distracted or overwhelmed to feel my hands. Let go of the past. It is covered, it is washed, and it is finished. Rest your heavy head on my chest right now. Let me lovingly carry the massive weight of your history. You do not have to hold it all together anymore. I am your unshakable foundation, and you are perfectly safe with me. Let us look gently back together for a moment, not to awaken any sorrow or old wounds, but to bring profound healing, deep understanding, and ultimate closure. I want to lovingly show you exactly where we got lost, where the burden of living became entirely too heavy for you to bear alone. Do you remember when you were young? The world felt vast, wide open, and full of limitless possibility. But almost immediately, the urgent, crushing demands of survival began to pull at you from every direction. Life happened so incredibly fast. It was a rushing, violent river that suddenly swept you up. You had to provide, you had to protect, you had to build a safe shelter for yourself and for those you loved. Without even realizing it, the days blurred into weeks, the weeks melted into years, and the years flew into decades. You were running a relentless, exhausting race that the world rigidly set up for you, a never-ending race of accumulating, striving, performing, and maintaining. In that relentless pursuit of stability and survival, the world quietly robbed you, leading us to the third divine secret, the secret of the stolen peace. The world handed you a heavy iron armor of profound responsibility and falsely told you that you could never, ever take it off. You were taught that your ultimate value was completely tied to your productivity, to your boundless energy, to your ability to constantly work, provide, and solve every problem for everyone around you. The world whispered that if you stopped moving, everything would collapse. And so, your peace was stolen, replaced by a constant hum of background anxiety. Now, as your physical energy naturally wanes and your daily routines drastically change in your senior years, you feel a terrifying, disorienting void. You ask yourself, who am I now if I am not the one constantly doing, fixing, earning, and providing? The anatomy of your current burden is rooted deeply in the painful illusion that you must control the outcome of everything, even now. Over the years, just to emotionally survive the harsh betrayals, the bitter disappointments, and the cold realities of this broken world, you began to consciously and unconsciously build massive walls around your tender heart. You built them brick by heavy brick, a brick for the trusted friend who walked away and broke your heart, a brick for the cherished dream that never materialized, a brick for the terrifying financial crisis that kept you awake pacing the floor at night, a brick for the sickness that changed your family dynamic forever. You built these formidable walls to keep the agonizing pain out. But my dear, precious child, those same walls have tragically locked you in. This brings us to the fourth divine secret, the secret of the unnecessary armor. The armor you wore to survive the battles of your youth is now crushing your spirit in your elder years. It has become a dark cage that keeps my perfect, radiant peace from reaching the deepest, most vulnerable corners of your soul. You became an absolute expert at surviving, but in the grueling process, you completely forgot how to simply be. I want to lovingly and patiently guide you back to the truth of who you are. You were never, ever meant to carry the massive weight of the world on your fragile human shoulders. The acute anxiety you feel about your fixed income, the shifting and sometimes painful dynamics of your grown children's lives, the frightening doctor's reports, these are entirely real, and I do not minimize them for a second. I see the stark reality of your daily, physical struggles, but I am offering you a new, profound solution, anchored entirely in the gentle reality of my love. Absolute surrender. Surrender the desperate need to manage the future. You have spent an entire lifetime carrying the heavy baggage of yesterday and the anxious provisions for tomorrow. No wonder your beautiful spirit is so thoroughly exhausted. I am lovingly inviting you today to step completely out of the rushing, demanding river of the world's expectations, and to sit quietly with me on the peaceful bank. The world violently demanded your hustle. I passionately desire your rest. I want to gently dismantle those thick walls you built, brick by brick. Let the tears fall if they must. They will be the very water that washes away the hardened mortar of those walls. Let go of the frantic pace you were conditioned to maintain. You are safe now. Your only task today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your days is to simply abide in my unconditional, warming love. Now, I want you to lift your beautiful, tear-stained eyes, look deeply and intimately into mine, and experience the magnificent turning of grace. This is your ultimate moment of divine perspective, the exact moment where your life transforms from enduring to truly thriving in my peace. The enemy wants you to falsely believe that the clock has completely run out, that the absolute best chapters of your story are permanently behind you, and that the time you have left is merely a fading, irrelevant twilight. That is a vicious, calculated lie from the darkness, designed to steal your final joys. My grace simply does not operate on human clocks, on worldly calendars, or on society's timeline of usefulness. I exist entirely outside of time. Listen closely to the fifth divine secret, the secret of divine timing. When my miraculous grace touches your life, a single fleeting moment of my profound peace can instantly eclipse decades of profound sorrow, regret, and anxiety. You think it is too late to find true, unbridled joy. You think it is too late to fulfill a meaningful purpose, or too late to experience a profound, life-altering spiritual awakening. But hear my words with crystal clarity. It is never, ever too late for me. The time that graciously remains in your life on this earth, whether it is days, years, or decades, is holy, sanctified ground. It is more than enough time for complete and total redemption, for profound physical and emotional healing, and for a peace that vastly surpasses all human understanding. I want to remind you of a beautiful promise I made long ago, a promise that was recorded for this exact, specific moment in your life. In the Gospel of Mark, when all human hope seemed lost and the people thought it was entirely too late, I looked at them with eyes of pure love and said, "With man it is impossible, but not with God, for all things are possible with God." Let those powerful, ancient words sink deep into your weary bones right now. It is incredibly possible for you to wake up tomorrow with an inexplicably light heart. It is entirely possible for the deeply fractured relationships in your family to be miraculously healed through your quiet faith. It is possible for your final chapters to be your most glorious, not because of what you are physically doing, but because of who you are in me. Because who you are is extraordinary. I unveil to you the sixth divine secret, the secret of the chosen vessel. You are intensely powerful right now. Your quiet wisdom, forged in the relentless fires of a long, challenging life, is a rare treasure this chaotic world desperately, urgently needs. Your whispered prayers, spoken softly in the quiet sanctuary of your room, are fiercely shifting spiritual atmospheres. They are guarding your children and your grandchildren in miraculous ways you cannot physically see. You are absolutely not a burden. You are a spiritual pillar. You are fiercely loved, carefully guarded, and divinely protected by legions of my angels. Before the very foundations of the earth were laid, I intimately knew your name. I saw this exact moment of you reading this, and I specifically chose you. I did not choose you for your fading physical strength or your past worldly accomplishments. I chose you for deep, quiet intimacy. I chose you to be a beautiful, radiant vessel of my love in a dark world. Finally, I give you the seventh divine secret, the secret of the final glory. The aches and pains of your physical body and the fleeting anxieties of your aging mind are strictly temporary, but the magnificent glory that is currently being prepared for you is unimaginably eternal. I am breathing fresh, warm, new life into your weary spirit right this very second. Stand incredibly tall in your soul. You are officially walking into a profound season of ultimate grace, where all the heavy pressure is entirely off. The supposed debts of your past are permanently canceled by my blood, and your only remaining requirement is to simply let me love you completely. I want to walk with you every single day of this beautiful remaining journey ahead. I want to be your very first morning conversation and your final, ultimate evening comfort. Do not walk away from this intimate encounter unchanged. If you feel my loving embrace right now wrapping around you, I invite you to leave your heavy burden right here at my feet. Leave your burden in the comments below. Type, "I receive your peace, Lord." Let this be a physical, permanent declaration of your spiritual surrender. And I warmly, lovingly invite you to subscribe to the channel so we can walk together, hand in hand, every single day from now on. You are my beloved, my chosen one, and your true life of eternal peace begins right now.